Hello everyone, I'm Chris Hernandez and this is the Weekly Report, a look at news from the city of Kansas City, Missouri. The city held its first Veterans Career and Resource Fair, and we hope to make it an annual event. The fair featured jobs, career advice, educational resources, and more.
Being here in Kansas City for the first ever Veterans Hiring Fair and to see how they've gotten hundreds and hundreds of employers to be here to hire our veterans is just awesome. You know, I'm the instructor of the Army. I work out of the Pentagon. But when I heard about this event, what Kansas City's doing, to wrap their arms around our veterans coming home, I knew I had to be here to send a message how grateful we are and that I appreciate that you're doing this as a city and these companies, not as a charity, because it's good for their bottom line and it's good for America.
And one more question on that line. What is your number one message to employers about hiring veterans?
Yeah, I would say if you want a hard worker, someone's going to take initiative, someone who has character, someone who will be loyal to an organization and build a team and take the initiative to be results oriented, hire an American veteran. Hire an American soldier. Hire these folks who have been less than 1% of our nation during the longest wars in American history and are ready now to do great things for your company and back home in their communities.
Last week, KCPD and kcmo, the No Violence Alliance, held a sweep targeting groups involved in violent crime.
For the last 2 days, more than 130 law enforcement officers from the Kansas City, Missouri Police Department, the FBI, U.S. Marshal Service, and ATF have been working to track down more than 100 people wanted in Kansas City. The individuals sought during this operation have already been identified as the most active and violent offenders by the Kansas City No Violence Alliance and KCPD, but they have continued to commit violent crimes. They have not accepted the many social services that kcmo offers to help those involved in violent crime pursue a better life and a more productive path. We conducted 288 residence checks, which led to the arrest of 34 people. We cleared 170 warrants in the past 2 days.
It wasn't about just locking them up, putting them in jail. It was about saving their life. I communicated with grandmothers, mothers, because I don't want them to walk in the shoes I'm walking in. Your life would never be the same once you lose a child to homicide. Today I stand with these people, these courageous men and women. We did 2 days of going to house to save someone's life. That's what kcmo does. It's a partnership. It's a collaboration of community. It's coming together to make a difference.
I want to personally thank all the men and women who were involved in this work, working to improve the safety of this community. I also want to thank the more than 130 members of local and federal law enforcement who carried out Operation Street Audit on behalf of Kansas City No Violence Alliance both yesterday and today. Kansas City No Violence Alliance remains incredibly active, identifying those who are committing the violent acts of crime in our city and the people who interact with them. We know who you are, we know who your friends are, and we know what you're doing.
An important element to the iconic Kansas City skyline has been restored. One of the 4 high-flying sculptures known as the Sky Stations is back in place after being repaired due to a lightning strike. Sky Stations gives Bartle Hall its world-famous profile. Now let's check in with some news from our other city departments.
Water in the lab, the key about water is it's all about safety for the lab. And that includes 2 different things. It includes needing to, for instance, say a student is dissecting and they were to nick themselves or something, they need to clean that. The other thing is just keeping the lab clean. As one would guess, there are fluids one deals with. You have to clean the tools that are used for dissection. You have to keep the floors clean. If we didn't have water in the lab, we can't open the lab to anyone. We gotta shut it down. For any wet lab, so this is a wet lab of sorts where we're dealing with dissection in a medical school setting. But any wet lab that we have on campus, we don't have running water in it. It doesn't run. It can't function. We have specially treated water for some of the wet labs, but if it's not running, there's nothing you can do. You're done for the day. You're out.
Today we are in the studios of Kansas City Friends of Alvin Ailey, located in the historic 18th and Vine Jazz District, to talk about upcoming events that are supported by the Neighborhood Tourist Development Fund. And here to tell us more about these events and programming that happens throughout the year is Chief Artistic Officer Tyrone Aiken. Tyrone, thank you for having us in your studios where a lot of hard work happens.
Thank you so much, Consuelo. It's a pleasure to be with you. We're excited about the upcoming events that are sponsored by Neighborhood Tourist Development Fund, but also there's a great deal of things that happen here year-round, including programming for students, free programming, starting in the second grade through 12th grade, that allows students to experience dance as an art form, learn about themselves, and learn about the importance of having an artistic experience. Mr. Ailey created Kansas City Friends of Alvin Ailey with community leaders in 1984. And we are the official second home of the Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater and Ailey 2. So that even though there may be other friends groups around the world, we are the official friends group that has a special connection with Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater and Ailey 2. Ailey 2 is coming to Kansas City for performances, a week-long engagement here in Kansas City. We call it our residency. And they will start with something new that we're doing called Ailey in Your Neighborhood. And we are taking them to about 40 different locations across the metropolitan area. There are 2 neighborhoods that we're focusing on, the west side of Kansas City, Missouri and downtown, and then also northeastern Johnson County. And we're taking them both to shopping centers and restaurants. We're taking them to schools and community centers. We're taking them to all sorts of public venues, indoors and out, where they will have an opportunity to engage with pop-up performances of their art form and the work that they do. When they're coming this fall, they're bringing 3 new ballets with them. They're also bringing Mr. Ailey's Masterworks and Revelations, and then also the current artistic director, Robert Battle, has a piece on the program, and that piece is entitled The Hunt. So we think that they have something for everyone to see. It's an incredible company of gifted and talented professional dancers. After they have their day doing Ailey in Your Neighborhood, it will continue with school performances, and there are 4. So we're going to see almost 4,000 students at the Folly Theater in school performances. That performance is an hour in length, and it allows students to experience the magic of Ailey. We then have 4 public performances, one Thursday. There's then a performance Friday night, which is our special gala performance, and then there's a performance Saturday at 2 o'clock, and then also 7:30. And those are wonderful opportunities for people to engage and come and see this jewel of a company.
And the public performances are free. The performances that you mentioned that happened during the day and in the evening that are not school performances are ticketed events. How could people find out about purchasing tickets?
That would be done by contacting us at 816-471-6003. If you wanted public performance tickets, those tickets start at $25 and can be purchased through the Folly Theater box office at 816-474-4444. And if you were interested in coming out to the gala, which is going to be Friday, September 30th, starting at 6 o'clock, you would call us at 816-471-6003.
Can you also talk to us about the relationship between Kansas City Friends of Alvin Ailey and the Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater that's in New York, and how all of the programming ties into that connection?
Well, what's important is that there is a great deal of programming that ties in to that connection. We have something called Ailey Camp. It is our award-winning camp. It started here with Mr. Ailey. It was his last public appearance. It was 1989. And that camp now, we have 2 camps serving this metropolitan area, but it is a national model camp serving 10 metropolitan areas across the United States. And that's a really important connection that we've developed. Lots of ways that we partner with New York.
If people want to have Ailey come to their school, or have students come here, how would people find out more about that?
They can find out more about coming to us coming to them, or them partaking in what we have to offer here by either going online to our website, www.kcfaa.org, or by calling us at 816-471-6003.
Well, thank you so much, Tyrone, for having us in your studios and for taking the time to tell us about all of the programs and your incredible reach and the legacy that you are carrying on from Alvin Ailey.
Thank you.
The Neighborhood Tourist Development Fund supports local nonprofits that bring cultural, social, educational, and recreational activities to our area. To learn about additional upcoming events, visit kcmo.gov/ntdf.
The Kansas City, Missouri Police Department is recognizing the sacrifice and service veterans in our community have made by giving them a place to socialize over coffee and donuts. They meet at the East Patrol Station to share stories and just talk about life. Retired KCPD officer and former Marine Alfredo Salazar appreciates the opportunity.
This is set up now to have different branches of the service. You know, I wouldn't know what people in the Air Force do, or in the Navy, or in the Army.
Carrying the 101st Airborne.
I'm in the Marine Corps League, and you know, you could talk to Marines about their experiences in the Corps. But for something like this here, especially having veterans from, like the gentleman here in Korea,
Outside of Memphis,
just broadens your scope
Nashville.
about service other veterans gave.
The setting is informal, and all of the military services are represented and welcome to be a part of the meeting, even law enforcement. Captain Paul Luster stopped by to give thanks.
I truly believe we live in the greatest country in the world, and it's because of what you guys did, and I want to come over and personally thank you guys.
Thank you.
I don't want to interrupt your meeting, but I just wanted to come over and let you guys know that from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate your service, and I just wanted to take brief time. And I don't want to hijack the conversation or anything like that, but I want to come over and let you guys know that I truly appreciate it. And we wouldn't be where we were at today in this country without the sacrifices you guys made.
The Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marines were all represented and spoke proudly about serving their country. Some of those memories good and some bad for Air Force veteran Ivan Baker and Army veteran Alfred McGuire.
Homicide I worked where Italians were killed. Of course, we had
I'm just proud of it.
Investigate that.
I'm proud to be American.
FBI.
I had people thank me for my service,
And I remember
and
one time our sergeant.
I'm just proud of what I've done. And like I say, if I had to do it over again, I'd do it over again. It wouldn't bother me a bit.
for one thing, they've always got people here that's got a lot of good information for you. You can pick up a lot of good information here that pertain to veterans. Okay, so I would recommend that any veteran come here. Just for the camaraderie. To talk.
Navy veteran Bob Stork says these meetings serve another purpose.
I belong to a neighborhood association. We do have a community officer that I've got a good relationship with, and I was trying to carry that a little bit further. And I've liked the situation that we can carry the relationship that we make here with the police officers back to our community. And we are effectively the elder statesmen of the community. And I'd like to be able to convey to the young people what a good relationship can be.
The gatherings are held the first Wednesday of the month at East Patrol at 27th and Prospect in the community room from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. I'm Sergeant Matt Fisher. Have a safe week.
As caretaker of the Ask MDC mailbox, I often am asked, how can I help Missouri's monarch butterfly population? Their numbers have declined dramatically over the past 20 years due to several factors, including the lack of the specific plants the butterflies use for food and laying eggs. But efforts are underway to repair this situation. The Show Me State is within the migratory flyway of the monarch as they travel south to Mexico in the fall. Once in Mexico, the butterflies congregate and spend the winter together in massive numbers. In the spring, they move north through the United States, laying their eggs on milkweed plants. These eggs grow into caterpillars, transform into butterflies, and continue their journey north. Then, in the fall, the cycle starts again as butterflies born on the journey head back to Mexico. This journey might require traveling nearly 2,000 miles one way. To find out how you can help Missouri's monarchs, visit our website at mdc.mo.gov.
The Health Department recently received a $10,000 challenge grant from the Aetna Foundation and several other partners, and more may be on the way. This funding allows the Health Department and its Health Commission's Violence-Free KC Committee to expand violence prevention efforts. The goal is safe, caring communities throughout the city. Now's your chance to help the City Council shape the city's 5-year business plan. The input will also help with the next annual budget. Residents are invited to participate in a citizen work session. You'll hear a presentation on budget information and data from citizen satisfaction surveys about resident priorities. Then you will move to breakout groups for discussion. The input will be used to finalize the 5-year citywide business plan, which must be adopted by November 1st. The 2 remaining citizen work sessions are scheduled for Saturday, October 1st at the Mohart Multipurpose Center from 9 to 11 a.m. And then again on Thursday, October 6th at the Kansas City Health Department's Multipurpose Room from 12:30 to 2:30 in the afternoon. That does it for this edition of the Weekly Report. To view this program again or other Channel 2 videos, go to kcmo.gov and search Channel 2. That page has a link to our YouTube channel and all of our great programs for viewing on demand. Thanks for watching. I'm Chris Hernandez. Have a great week.